Hey, beautiful divas. This is Shay, your Love Diva, with another episode of Love on Command. And today I have an amazing guest. And I'm telling you, like, if we had like a prototype of the type of clients that we want in our program, then Khadija would be it. Because when I tell you, like, she has a positive attitude, she was coachable, like, she did the work, she kept showing up for herself. Like, anytime we gave her any feedback, she made the adjustment. Like, oh my God, you will never meet like a softer, kinder spirit that was just so moldable that it allowed us to get her results faster. So I really want you to meet her and to hear about her journey because it's absolutely inspiring. Welcome to the show, Khadija.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to join you today.
Look at that amazing smile. Like, talk to us about like where you were. Were you smiling like this before you started Boss Diva University?
Absolutely not. I'm sure it was more of a frown and I'm just lost. Look, deer in headlights look when I started. I didn't
Not
want
the
to
deer.
just hide, just hide.
Tell us what you were going through. Like, what was your past experiences, not only with men, but also in your personal life and what you were feeling that inspired you to take this step?
So I was still lost from my divorce, being married for almost 18 years, and knowing that I had to let that go.
Mm.
I wasn't supposed to be in that marriage anymore. I tried everything and nope, no, no, no. So I still felt lost. I would say I was walking around like a big ball of stress, just operating in stress and fear all day long.
Mm.
And the thing that kept me originally from becoming part of the program was I was holding on to, I don't need it. I can just listen. Or, well, I got myself out of this with money. So I'm not going to spend the money because that's my control. That's what I
Right.
can fix. But I knew I had to let go and invest in myself for once. That's
Mm.
the biggest difference. I spent my whole life taking care of others and not myself.
And what has been the reward with you investing in yourself? Tell us the change that happened within you.
Oh my goodness, night and day. I can walk into a room with self confidence, not faking it till I make it, but literal self confidence, self worth. Everything that I thought I was in my head before, it's actually here. The positivity is real. The connection with the divine is real. There was still so much lack of faith and trust there that I
Mm.
didn't know. It's like, well, I'll make these plans and Lord, come with me.
Right.
Like,
Like, no,
that's
you approve what I want you to do.
yes, that's
Right.
not how it works.
Right.
That's really not. So a lot of that control had to go, and so much happier for it. I feel like if there was just one word, it would be love. It's like
Mm.
I operate in love, not in fear anymore, which I'm just so thankful for.
What do you think it is that's unique about Boss Diva that allowed you to be able to have this type of shift in yourself and in your life?
You've created this program, thank you, to go back to the woman that you were supposed to be
Mm.
before, just like when you were a young girl, you actually get to blossom back into that woman you were supposed to be in your feminine energy. Yes, we are talented, gifted women in this world, but we don't need to compete with men. Let us sit in our feminine energy and be that creative person, be who we are supposed to be, and we will be successful. But we don't have to believe everything they taught us all these years. And items that we have to do, the teachings that you have, and the practical applications. I don't want to go into it because I don't want to tell your secrets, but
Right.
wonderful.
Don't
I
tell
will
all the secrets.
I will never forget them. And of course, I wish I could have known, when I was thinking, like, I don't know if I should do it. Just do it. Just do it because what you get out of it, you don't have enough money to pay for that.
Is it worth it? And it's funny, I always ask, like, when I do this interview, was the investment worth it?
The investment was well worth it, well worth it at every facet of your life. We're talking about, of course, I was like, well, I'm gonna get a husband in 3 months. So I'm gonna pay this off. So I was like, I don't care about that.
Right, right.
But I did not understand how much I would change, how much my relationship with my beautiful children would change, my relationship with my mother would change, My brothers would get stronger. My siblings would get stronger. And of course, me, you're making yourself a better you. Everybody always say you attract what you are, but then nobody
Right.
focuses on you becoming who you are supposed to be. And that's what I think makes the difference.
Mm.
And you might want to cut this one out, but I'm so tired of people taking your stuff. I'll be like, you got that from Shay and you start saying it.
And you're not even saying it right. Like, if you're gonna copy my stuff, just
I was like,
copy.
just stay in your lane. Why don't you stay in your lane? Or you just teach men. Like that would be an incredible help, but you just teach men, but you keep trying
Right.
to go in her lane. Stay.
Thank you. I so appreciate that, baby. Like, I don't know, they say flattery is like imitation is the best form of flattery. I don't know. I'm still working on that, being
Yeah,
flattered by all
yeah,
of that.
yeah, yeah.
But it does let me know that we are on to something good. And when I see somebody like you and I see that smile and I see like the way you looked in the beginning, and we like do a before and after picture, right? We're gonna one day you're gonna be on the wall of love of, like the before picture of the deer in the headlights to the you with the beautiful smiling picture. And like, it's something about that light that's activated. What would you say is the greatest gift that you got from the journey of being in Boss Diva?
Again, I'm going to say love, just operating in love. I was
Mm.
operating in fear if I'm not 100%, correct in it, if I'm not a perfectionist. It was just fear and a big ball of stress. And
Yeah.
that's gone.
I love it. So when people are like, I don't want to spend that much money. There's a lot of money. Like, that's too much. What would you say, knowing what you know now, what would be your response to that?
You can't afford not to spend it
Oh,
because you don't know what's going on in your body if you keep on this path. So it's just like anything. You want to take care of it now or you want to take care of it later.
I love that. Like, that was like really
That would speak to
deep.
me. That would speak to me. I'd be like, you're right.
Right. You can't afford not to, because even in your body, but in your life, like the relationship of your dreams that you're sabotaging, the happiness that you're missing out on, the time with your kids, the time with your family and your friends, and all of these different memories, like how much is that worth? And it's so crazy because to me, it's not a conversation. Like, I went from being homeless, I went from being on food stamps, I went from not having. And in order for me to get to where I need to get to, like, I would declare what I needed to do and the money just came, right? So when I knew that it was time for me to invest in myself, I was like, I'm doing this. That's what it is. And somehow God always brought the money. And then I ended up becoming better for it. So I can already see the benefits. Like, I knew it even before I even had it, but a lot of people don't. And so it bothers my spirit when I see somebody in so much pain and I see where they're going. And then they use money as the source of resistance to actually choosing themselves, not knowing that it's going to come back, not knowing that the benefits on the other side that's going to come to them. Being the person that you went through, what would you say to these people that are on the fence and doubting themselves and moving forward?
Not only is your health, your relationships, even not spending, let's be real, not spending your time on men who aren't worth your time.
Right.
Like, think about that. But if you're on the fence about money, this program will change your relationship about money. You'll have a healthier relationship and it'll come back to you. I was thinking about that same thing and I was like, well, if you're talking to someone who has money, it's easy for them to say, just go spend it, baby. It's worth it.
Right.
But just think over your life and what you spent money. I am pretty sure that you spent money on. Hello, divorce.
Okay.
Things that you've spent money on, and you're changing that whole trajectory. You're changing it. Like, it's just, we're Americans. Money's not, they print money. Like, why are you worried about money? Why? Why exactly are you worried about it? It's going to come. You have to love yourself. This is the time for you to love yourself and invest in yourself.
Right.
Not worry about the money.
Right.
This is the time in your life where you need to step out on faith and know that this is going to be an investment for you, if you have the blessing of children, your future generations, your spouse, you just don't know. You are changing so many lives by investing in yourself. So even if you're someone like me who was always living for other people, well, think
Right.
about that. Think of all the other people you're going to touch by just you going through this program.
It's so interesting because that's one of our pre-qualifiers, right? Like if somebody's willing to invest in themselves. And I think people think that all of our clients are just rich. They got a bag of money. It's like, oh, I need to bring this bag of money in order to get help. But what we are looking for is somebody's willingness to figure it out. We're looking for somebody who they are like, please just help me. They're like, I'm ready. I'm willing to do what it takes. Then we're like, willing, okay, let's figure it out. We're willing to work with them and we're willing to do what it takes. And I think what it is that so many people are jaded because they experience other programs that are quite interesting. And then when you come into our program, it's like, wait, what? Y'all are doing all of this? Can you talk about that? Because I don't know if people think that just because it's me, then they don't believe it. But talk about when you experienced the program and seeing it, what was your impression?
I didn't know how many members of the team would care about what was, I just thought, okay, I'm in this program, I'm gonna go through the steps. I thought of it more like university, right? So when you go to university, yes, they care, but you're still kind of just lost in the crowd, right? And you're another number. You can get with them, but they're not actively trying to help you. You get what you can. Well, here, everybody's invested and everybody wants to see you win. And not only the team, but then you have a true sisterhood. If that's something that you haven't had before, you have your other Diva sisters who are really rooting for you. I don't know most of the people on the program, right? Because they weren't part of my class, but I root for them like I've known them all my lives.
Oh.
And that is a beautiful thing. And that is something, if women don't have that, they will instantly get that here, along with feeling the love from all the coaches.
I love that. Now tell us how your dating life has changed from what you were attracting before to like now, what are you attracting and the kind of attention that you're getting?
So before, they were quality men, but something was off. Like I knew something was off when you're like, what? Just the fact that it was still kind of the selfish men. They might have been a little bit more successful, but they were selfish, like drop everything. And so now it's not the same. It's not this, it's the men who want to do for me.
Right.
And if I hadn't gone to that program, I would still be like, I don't need to do this. I can do this myself. No,
I am.
healthy. It's so I can just let men do for me.
Right.
And that is a shift and relax in that. And I don't have to prove myself. That was a big thing. Oh, let me do this and let me sit down.
Ooh, that cutie, like in all of my feminine splendor.
Yes.
What does that feel like?
It is amazing. It's really, when I think of what is love and kind of just really having that joy, that's what it feels like. To just rest in who you are.
Yes. Like you could feel it. Can y'all feel it? Can you feel like her joy, her love, like it's just emanating from the screen. Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful.
Oh, I'm saying, and there's just connections with people instantly in person. I'd never experienced that before.
Do you have any doubt in your mind that you will meet and marry your soulmate?
None.
Look at yes. I'm so happy for you. Is there any last words that you would say to a woman who's like, she's here because of you, like you're that person? What would you say to her?
I'm so glad you invested in yourself to become the great woman you were supposed to be.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I wish I could hug you, but at the next Love Mastery retreat, I am going to hug the mess out of you. I cannot wait. And I'm so proud of you. And I'm so happy to see you on this journey, and you're not done yet. I always tell you guys, getting coaching and investing in yourself, like that should be like a regular part of your budget. Like stay connected. And when you're investing in yourself, because you're always elevating to that next level, you don't want it to stop, because in any garden, no matter how beautiful the garden is, the weeds will grow. And your job is to keep plucking them out. Sometimes you don't even know the weeds. Sometimes they look like flowers. Shoot. It's like, it look pretty, but it's killing your garden. It's sucking up your tomatoes. So make sure that you are carving out a budget, because then not only is the money going to keep coming back, but you're going to keep elevating. Your life is going to keep getting richer, and it's going to keep getting more fulfilling, and just the impact. Because when you die, I promise you, you're not going to say to yourself, God, I wish I just didn't invest in myself. wish I would have invested less in my improvement. Like, I promise you, you're not going to say that. But what you will say if you don't take action in choosing yourself is, I wish I would have prioritized me, loving me, allowing love to love me, allowing me to live my best life, allowing myself to be willing to take the risk, to have and do and be better. That's what's going to be the regret if you don't take the next step. So I'm proud of you, baby. I'm happy for you. I'm so blessed that I got a chance to sit front row seat and be part of this journey. And I wish you nothing but love and success. And I'm so excited that you're still part of the Divahood.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I so appreciate
Congratulations.
you and all your hard work.
Thank you, baby. Oh my God, I did it. Good job. Thank you so much for doing this. I'm like, yeah, your podcast is definitely going to be put up there, honey. You're going to, there was like several super clips that I'm like, use this clip, use this clip.
Thank you.
Because it was just amazing. And then just to see like the genuineness and the light in your eyes.
It's real. Because I thought about, we had, I don't know, some women's group, we did an activity and it said the smile was people remembering by my smile.
Yeah.
And when I started at the last company I worked for, again, the smile, but it's like, I wish I could tell them it's real now.
Oh,
You know, like it's real. I feel it and other people feel it.
yeah.
I'm just glad. I just look back on that and I'm just very fortunate. And my mom, I didn't even tell her anything about the program, but for us to have a conversation about breath work.
You had a conversation with your mom about breath work?
Yes, and it had nothing to do with the program.
Oh my gosh. What did she say?
She was like, I was trying to get into it. You know, she was still on the fence, but for her to talk about it, like, you know, old school.
Yep.
You know, folks like, I don't know nothing about that, so we don't touch it. But for her to even say it.
Yes.
And I had two friends, well, my sister-in-law and one of my other friends from work, both had me watch Heal with Dr. Joe Dispenza. I was like, you guys do this too? They're like, yes.
I love it. I love it. He has a new documentary that's coming out.
Yes, you're featured. I was like, oh, Shay's featured on it.
It was such an honor to be able to like work on that project with him, because the things that I learned and the growth that I experienced because of him, you know, like my prayer is for everybody to be impacted at that level. And I always say, like, as you guys notice that as you go through the program and you go through the healing, I'm like, okay, here's the next step. The next step is rhythmia, right? Because now it's like, let's go back, whatever residual you want to clean it out. You can go deeper because it's kind of like removing the concrete ground. Now you can dig deeper when you do the healing. A lot of times when people do that first, then they don't really go as deep, and then they go back to the old life and the old patterns, and then it doesn't stick. So then it's rhythmia, then it's Dr. Joe, because then when you really clear it out and you do those meditations, you're going to the moon, right? Yeah. Like you're healing on a whole nother level.
Yeah,
you're talking to aliens. Right. Who wrote that?
Oh, this is Alexander Lloyd and Ben Johnson, MD.
I need to write that down. I need to get that.
Yeah, I think that's another good one for the journey.
Okay, the healing code. I'm going to have to add that. Let me type that. Oh, you know what? It's funny because everybody's been part of our conversation, but I'm going to go ahead and close out this podcast. I'm going to go ahead and close out this podcast. Beautiful divas, thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Love on Command with Shay, your Love Diva, and with my beautiful student, Khadija. We are so glad you're here, and I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday for another episode. Bye.